Hey y'all, we're back again. Still working on the landing gear legs and just fitting all the little collars and sleeves and bits of tubular aluminum tubing. We're just trying to get these all cleaned up so that they'll fit together. These sizes again are 1108, 1109, and 1110. And what that means is that each will sleeve just inside of the other, 1108 being the smallest diameter, 9 the intermediary, and 1110 being the largest of the three diameters of tubing that we're using here today. So I have a lot more filing to do. As you can see, this one's a little rough. But essentially, we're going to end up with something like this. I say something, like this. I'm probably going to cut at least a dozen or more of these and just pick the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 most consistent size. So you can see this one's a little skinnier than that one. Maybe you can see that, I don't know. And one of these also has to fit under the large diameter collar so that it's not sloppy on the small diameter. So this is actually there's a collar within a collar here, if that makes sense. I could wrap tape and slip it over the tape, but it gets tricky when you're doing that. The tape can roll up, or you can have an issue where it's still not quite tight, and then you set the larger collar over the tape and it's not quite straight. With the underlying aluminum collars being just the right size, means that this piece is going to be pretty much straight on the small diameter. Okay, that's the idea there, is to keep it clean. I think what I'll do is, I think that's the smallest, skinniest piece that I have, so I'm going to set that one aside for now. So cleaning these, you need jeweler files, something like this, that'll fit. And you need to clean both the inside and the outside of the section of tubing. What you want is some nice rounded shoulders on the outside, and obviously you need it clean enough on the inside to slide over the main landing gear leg without scratching it up or tearing into it. So, and anyway, that's what I'm doing here. So you can kind of see how this process works. And again, on the bottom, what I'm going to do is turn this this bottom exterior piece sideways, drill a hole through it, slide it up onto the main landing gear leg, and then use its opening proper to run a short length of the small tubing and then a length of piano wire through the wheel as an axle. Right, so that way I don't need to have this return on the piano wire, and I can also have a bit of adjustment where I'm setting the depth of the wheel in regard to the landing gear leg for that overall length adjustment that we might need to keep the airplane straight and square when looking at it on the ground. In the air, you can't really tell. I mean, if an airplane is hanging from the ceiling with the landing gear down, you can't necessarily tell whether everything is straight and square or not, because it's not sitting on the ground. And the gear can be close to accurate, or even a bit off substantially. But with the airplane hanging in the air, you can't take your measurements to the wingtips and all that stuff to make sure. So for an airplane like this, where I believe I'm just going to go ahead and do the gear down and fixed, it's important that we get all these measurements right and that everything is looking right when the aircraft is parked on the ground. The model, the DC-3 model, standing on its own and standing fair and square. Kind of important. So little adjustments here and there are always going to be helpful when you're getting down to that wire. You don't want everything to be fixed and rigid and non-adjustable And you're kind of stuck with whatever you landed on, which may or may not have been good. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. You get these collars done up properly so they'll slip on and look correct. So yeah, that looks a little better. So we'll have the two intermediate collars here and here, and this upper collar will be used to brace the cross member here along with its bracing. And then the I think for the rear brace, this one that has a horseshoe that goes around the tire, I think I'll just make the horseshoe out of solder. We'll cut and flatten the ends, drill it out, run a pin, you know, through the sides or the ends of the of this end collar here, the axle support, or just notch it around it. Anyway, we'll figure that out, but we'll just press it flat, squeeze it flat, shape it and everything, and drill a hole through it and figure out how to fit it after that. But once we get this round part made, then I can come off the top with a length of pipe, and what I'll do here is we'll file it using the round file. We'll cut the end of this into a U shape and make sure that it fits just right over the solder, and then close it off with epoxy cement, epoxy resin. Get it all sanded nice. Excuse me. Extra congestion today. Sorry about it. Anyway, so we do all that, and that's how we'll do the rear landing gear brace. Cool. All right, we'll get back later and do some more work. Thanks for watching.